Hey there, I'm Lynn Carpenter of Blissful Heart Coaching. Welcome back to week 2 of the Unbridling process, part of my Unbridled Authenticity coaching model. I'm so proud of you for being here. If you're just joining me, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Each video stands on its own, and today we're focusing on two powerful patterns: voice reining and herd approval seeking. I'll link week 1 video below if you want to start from the beginning. When I talk about bridling, I'm drawing from the world of horses. When a horse is bridled, it learns to respond to gentle pressure, turning, stopping, yielding, while ideally staying connected to its spirit. But as humans, we often internalize the pressures around us so deeply that we begin to bridle ourselves by suppressing our true thoughts, feelings, and desires to stay safe and accepted. The unbridling process is about gently loosening those old reins and reconnecting with your whole, worthy, soul-led self. Last week, we explored your bridled beginnings and explored how your early experiences taught you to hide parts of your authentic self for the sake of safety and connection to the people you depended on for love, acceptance, and survival. This week, we're building on that foundation by focusing on two key areas that get you deeply bridled: your voice and your worth. If you've ever struggled to say what you really think or felt like your worth depended on how helpful, accommodating, or good you were, you're not alone. I remember a time when I measured my worth by how well I could keep the peace. I became an expert at reading the room, anticipating needs, and keeping everyone comfortable. Honestly, I did this to fly under the radar and stay safe. At the time, it didn't feel like a choice. It felt like survival. But over time, that survival strategy became a cage. I wasn't just keeping the peace, I was losing pieces of myself. I felt invisible, silenced, exhausted. Maybe you felt like that too. Like the more you shrink, the more invisible you become, even to yourself. The hardest part wasn't that others silenced me. It's that eventually I started silencing myself. I learned to rein in my voice before anyone else even had the chance to. Maybe you've done that too. Maybe you felt like your voice only mattered if it kept others happy, or like your worth was conditional on how much you could give. Today, we're talking about two specific bridling patterns that keep you stuck. First is voice reining. It's the instinct to edit, shrink, or silence your true thoughts to avoid conflict or disapproval. And second is herd approval seeking. This is the deep need for external validation to feel worthy, loved, and safe. Both of these patterns make perfect sense when we remember that your nervous system once prioritized connection over authenticity. But today, we're going to start loosening those reins. Here's the truth. You were born inherently worthy. Your worth is not something you have to earn, prove, or maintain by making everyone else comfortable. And I know if you've spent most of your life believing the opposite, hearing that might feel almost impossible to trust right now. That's okay. We're not asking your mind to instantly believe it. We're simply inviting your body, your heart, and your soul to begin remembering what's always been true. Even if it was buried beneath years of survival patterns, and your authentic voice is a sacred expression of that worth. When we silence our voice, we send ourselves the message, my truth doesn't matter. When we seek approval, we reinforce the belief, my worth is fragile. But neither of those beliefs is true. When you begin to remember your worth, not in your mind, but in your body and soul, you'll notice there's a quiet space that opens up inside of you. A space between the old reflex to people please and the new possibility of honoring your truth. That's what I call the sacred pause. It's the moment you choose to listen to yourself before rushing to meet everyone else's needs. Every time you're about to automatically say yes, or you're tempted to say something to keep the peace, I want you to pause, place one hand on your heart, Feel your breath and silently ask yourself, what is true for me right now? If I trusted my worth completely, what would I say? Give yourself permission to pause long enough to hear your inner voice, even if you don't act on it yet. Remember, pausing isn't weakness, it's power. It's how you begin to unbridle your authentic voice. So let's add a quick somatic support. Somatic means working with the body because healing doesn't just happen in the mind. Your body holds memories of old patterns, and your body also holds the keys to your freedom. So as you pause, gently press your feet into the ground. Feel the ground supporting you. And imagine your voice traveling down your spine, anchoring you in your truth. Grounding your body helps your nervous system stay regulated so you can stay connected to yourself, even when others may not approve. Let me give you an example. One of my clients, who we'll call Sarah, realized that every time her mother gave her that look of disappointment, she would immediately fold and agree to do things she didn't want to do. Through practicing the sacred pause and grounding herself before she responded, she slowly built the muscle of noticing her true feelings before automatically people pleasing. Eventually, she was able to say, I'm not available for that, without spiraling into panic or guilt. And this wasn't because she became stronger by force. It was because she created safety inside herself first. This week, I'd love for you to practice the sacred pause at least once a day. It doesn't have to be in a big dramatic moment. Even tiny pauses build the muscle. And second, journal on this question: what would become possible if I truly believed my worth wasn't tied to pleasing others? Next week, we'll go even deeper as we explore sacred intuition and boundaries. You'll learn how to trust your inner knowing and build boundaries that feel empowering, not punishing. In the meantime, if today's conversation about reclaiming your voice and worth sparked something inside of you, I invite you to take my free quiz. It's a quick and beautiful way to discover the hidden people-pleasing patterns that might still be holding you back, and to take your first steps toward living unbridled. You'll find the link in the description below. I'd love for you to take it after you watch today's video. Also, if you haven't already, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos on healing from people-pleasing, setting soul-led boundaries, and living in your unbridled authenticity. And until then, remember, your voice matters. Your worth is unshakable, and your authentic self is already within you, just waiting to be unbridled. I'll see you in the next video.